Hey, it's Rael. Welcome back to another video. And if you're new here, thank you so much for joining me today. We are in Henford-on-Bagley working on a cottage rental. I wanted to do a rental because I don't think that I've done one on the channel yet, and I've only really done one in my own personal save as well, so I don't have enough of them throughout my game with my own personal touch on it. And if you're familiar with the channel, I just finished a build. It was the Bee Haven farm. If you're not familiar, definitely watch it. No, I'm just like shameless plug, but watch it. I thought it was like a cute build and I really like the outcome, but it's actually not too far from here. That lot is also in Bramblewood, which is the section of Henford-on-Bagley that we're in right now. It's kind of more of like the country-esque. It's a bit further from town area. I wanted to do another build over here just because I was just absolutely in love and I was having the time of my life doing that Bee Haven farm. So I wanted to just like keep the ball rolling, keep that energy, do this build. I had this photo, a house on my Pinterest that really inspired me. I had this photo that inspired me. So I think that the house looks pretty close to the photo and I really like the outcome. I thought that it would translate well with our cottage living items and just a few items from other packs. I tried to make this, I use a few packs, don't get me wrong, but if you're familiar with my builds, I use pretty much every pack. I have almost all of them and I don't usually limit myself because these are for my own like personal save file. But for this house, I thought that this would be a fun challenge. I think that I'm under 10. I will put a little edit on the screen and actually tell you how many I used, but I think I'm under 10. I might be wrong on that, but I want to start doing that with some of my builds. I want to be more conscious of how many packs I'm using in these builds, so it's more friendly to you guys. Also, if you have requests, like you want a cottage style farmhouse or whatever and you want it just in like with cottage living and base game, let me know. Put that kind of stuff below and I'm more than happy to do those builds for you guys. I totally understand what it's like to not own all of the packs and to slowly be, acquiring them over time. I had to do that for a long time and it is a struggle. There are so many packs, but like there are really, really amazing items within them. So, especially for me as a build and buy person, there's certain packs that I just can't live without. I think I'm going to do a video on the packs that I really recommend for new people as well soon. But yeah, I am going to give you guys just a little bit of music to chill out with while I put in some of the details. We lay the groundwork and then I'll rejoin you a little bit later. So I wanted the landscaping and the outdoor of this house to really give this like beautiful country vibe. A few months ago, my husband and I were looking at taking a trip for our upcoming wedding anniversary that's later this month, and we were talking about hitting up like Niagara Falls and staying on the Canada side because we really enjoy staying in Canada, and we haven't really got to explore a lot of it, but we found this amazing, like literally it's called a farm estate. It's like 50 acres. It was absolutely gorgeous. We didn't end up choosing that trip. We were going on a different trip. We're going on a trip to Salem and Boston to see our friend, but we're going to be there for Halloween, and that's like top tier like life goals for me. I've always wanted to go to Salem, and especially during Halloween. I know it's going to be super busy, but so worth. We're going to have the time of our lives. But that farm, like honestly, we are going. I don't care what I have to do. We're going to go to that farm one day, and we're going to relax, and we're going to hang out and have the time of our lives, because it was just, I mean, I only saw it in photos, but it looked amazing. It looked so gorgeous. You know, the lady that lives there and runs the place, I think, and her father. So this is like, we're talking about generations here that have worked to make this place like a nature preserve. And you can really tell that a lot of love and energy has gone into that place. It looked immaculate. And I mean, not only did the house look amazing, I'm going to have to build that house for you guys. I'm sorry, but it was amazing. I mean, of course, because it's a rental, like I didn't get to see every little tiny part of the house until I get to stay there, but I think that we could go off of the inspiration of just the photos that I have and really build something that would capture that energy, because it was amazing. It was gorgeous. Like I was just imagining myself like on vacation there, like cooking in the kitchen, looking out and being like, yes, this is my life, and being like, oh, what time do we have to check out again? Because I don't want to leave. But there were so many different places where you could just go relax, be one with nature. They had like walking trails and things like that, because again, it's like 50 acres. Like that's huge. It's almost like overwhelmingly big to me. But they had like walking paths. They even had a peacock. Like you don't go and like mess with the peacock, but you could look at it and observe it from a distance. They had chickens. They even have like flower gardens where she will help you like pick flowers, and then you pay for like a little bouquet. But there were so many different spots where you could just sit, be with a bunch of like gorgeous flowers, be, you know, in the middle of the woods, hang out with a peacock, and just like truly just live and be in the moment. And I love that. So I mean, I really want to go there. I think that it's like definitely in talks for maybe another year where we would celebrate this, because we got married in 2020. We haven't really done a honeymoon because of the whole pandemic thing, and we were thinking about doing that as our little honeymoon, but we're gonna go visit our friend, and we're really excited about that too, because we haven't seen him in a few years. He moved for college, and we're really like hyped to see him. So I think maybe I could be like, you remember my farm? In like maybe 2 years or something like that, because it was really expensive to stay there. Like it was out of our budget to stay there, but I was like, you and I both know we deserve this, right? And he's like, I mean, we do, but oh my gosh, that's expensive. You're right though, it's beautiful, and I want to stay there with you. So I think it's gonna be something like in the talks, maybe like our 5-year wedding anniversary. So maybe in another 2 years or so I can bring it up again and be like, do you remember my farm? Take me to that farm, good sir, and we can hang out with the peacocks and live our best life. And he probably will, because he's an angel and he loves me so much. But I just want to I'm so excited to build that place. I really cannot wait. I am going to give you guys just a little bit more music to chill out with while we work on some of these rooms upstairs, and I will rejoin you a little bit later. Okay, we are working on the kitchen now, and I really do like how it turns out. I think it's adorable and quite plain. I didn't want this house to have like a lot of personality. I just wanted it to look quite nice and functional, if that makes sense. But I love the flooring. It's a little trick that I learned a long time ago, but I just take that marble flooring that we have in base game and I put it on like every other square like a chessboard, and then I just take another color and fill in the others. Usually I do black and white, but I was really feeling this like off white, gray, beige. I don't know what you'd call it. It looks different depending on the lighting. It's The Sims, you know, but like it kind of looks beigey to me right now. But I did this like off beige color, and I really like how it turned out. I didn't want this to be like an overwhelming room or anything like that with colors and stuff like that, especially with the tiling that I put on the walls. I wanted everything to flow really well, and I think that I achieved that. I mean, you could be the judge here, but I think that I achieved that. I really like how this turned out. And I do want to mention that I know I didn't put like a dining room area in this house, but I did that because I wanted that little room that I was doing before this kitchen, that like gaming area, to be just that, like a little gaming spot where the family could gather together and like do a few activities. Maybe like, I mean, I have some photos at the end. I think it's adorable, but I had them all like in there playing games together, and it just gives that like vibe of like family bonding. But if you have like larger families, or like you want your Sims to like sit down together for a meal, you can easily transition that into a dining room. And I also want to mention that because this is a rental lot, if you want to use this as a residential, you will have to place a mailbox on the lot. That's not required for rentals. I thought about putting one on, but I really was like, it'll mess up the vibes. So that is another thing that you'll have to add. And then when you download it, and if you download it, I should say, if you download this lot, it will ask you if you want to have the lot be a residential lot, or if you want it to stay a rental lot like it is now. So that's a really easy change. It will probably automatically populate a mailbox on the lot for you somewhere. Usually it's in a random spot. So just move that if you want to. But this is the space I was talking about earlier. I think that this room is big enough as it is to plop down a dining table and some chairs if you wanted to, if you needed that extra space. But if for some reason you wanted even more space, I think that you could really easily bump this room and the room above it out another tile, and then just ring the roof out with it, and it'll blend really seamlessly. So you could easily adjust this build. I think like it's very simple in my opinion as far as the actual outside goes. So I think it's really easy to like make work with what family you have and the parameters that you're looking for. But I really like how that little room turned out. It was just so cute to see the family in there playing games and stuff like that. And then I wanted to add another bedroom on the ground floor, because if you're like me, I usually take like honestly, I usually take the limit amount of Sims, which is like 7 I think that you can take on vacation. I take like 7 Sims on vacation with me at a time. So I wanted as many bedrooms as possible, but I also know that a lot of people, especially if you're doing generational gameplay, they'll bring like grandparents with them on vacations like this. So I thought that this would be good for either like, a couple's room, grandparents' room, or even like the Sims that I had on this lot, like play testing everything. They have twin girls and an older brother. So I was like, this is perfect. I'm sure that he would want his own space anyway. And he has like his own little bathroom that he can use, that the one in the entryway. So everybody kind of has their own space. And if you have like grandparent Sims, which I know it doesn't really matter, but you could have them down here and not like worry about them walking up and down the stairs. Like I just always think about those like real life aspects instead of like, Sims gameplay. But I really like this room. I think it's adorable, and it's mostly, cottage living and base game in here. I don't think that I really use anything else, which I was like surprised. Can I say that? I was like really proud of myself, because I don't use a lot of, I do use some base game items, but I usually don't like do an entire room base game or in one other pack. So I was like, okay, girl, like maybe you can do this. It's possible for you. I believe in you. We are going to go into like the living room now. I really like how it turned out. I was quite unsure of what to do with this space because I felt like it was really awkward at first, but I think that I made it work out in the end, and I wanted enough space for large families to congregate together. And I think that I achieved that. The family, like I said, that I brought here, they're a family of 5, so everybody was in this space at one time enjoying like a movie together, and it seemed like there was plenty of space for everybody to get around each other and for everybody to sit and be comfortable and relax. And then I do want to point out a few other things. I did mention like how I used like as little, the most I could do with as little packs as possible. Does that make sense? So there are like certain items like that music stand that I put next to that like record player. I think that is the only item from the like movie hangout pack. So if you download this and you're like, oh, I don't have some of those, you might only be missing like 1 or 2 items. I wanted to really make this like, I think it's like get together, cottage living, base game. Those are like the main ones that I tried to use throughout this. Obviously, I think vampires is the brick on the outside, but you could easily change the brick. So I really do hope that you guys like it. I hope that you appreciate that I really tried to like limit myself, and I will be doing more limitations like this in the future because I did have a lot of fun with it, and it was really fun to like challenge myself, find new items that like I don't use as often because like I said, I don't typically like give myself any limitations when I'm doing these builds, but it was a lot of fun. I am almost done here. I do want to thank you so much for joining me today. I will just have a few photos at the very end of the family on the lot, playtesting everything, showing you how everything looks with Sims there. Have an amazing day. Again, thank you so much.